whenever we found out the first time, it was one of those things. I remember bringing the kids together, and I remember telling them, I said, guys, we got good news and we've got bad news. And I said,
always been honest with them, always been
up front, and told them, I said, and we said what had happened, and the kids, they knew, unfortunately, they knew what cancer was, because cancer seems to be so rampant these days, unfortunately in the children. And I remember seeing some of their close friends have to go through some of that chemo process. And so when they found out, we told them what mommy was diagnosed with cancer, and they obviously went into we were very upset about that. But I said, guys, look, just because we believe in Jesus, just because we love God and we seek to do His will, that doesn't mean that storms won't come in our life. That passage I referred to earlier, Matthew chapter 7, he says, everyone who listens to these words of mine and acts them will be like a wise man who built his house. The flood came, just as it did to the person who didn't act on those words. So both people, whether you listen and act or whether you listen and don't act, both houses experienced the storm. The difference is that those who listened and acted, their house was not taken by the storm. I said, guys, we're going to trust in God that we're going to be able to weather this storm, however long and whatever this looks like. And so I remember going to prayer with them and just continually trusting in God's presence and God's graces and God's love, knowing that no matter how bad the storms get, that we can do this. And as Elise was saying, one of the things that has been such a blessing for us has been an amazing community. Mm-hmm. We have been blessed by family, by friends, by strangers, by so many people that have come up to us and have told us that they're praying for us. And they say, we started praying the rosary for you, that we started going to adoration for you, that we started doing all these things, praying for Elise, praying for me, praying for our family. And there's not enough paper to write a thank you note for all the things that we've been blessed with. We have been given so much, received so much from this journey, and this is almost one of the accepting this responsibility of giving the talk tonight. I wanted to take the time and just say thank you. Thank you so much for your prayers. Thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for everything that you have done that has supported us, supported Elise, supported our kids. There's so many people to thank, and I know there's a lot of people in here tonight, and so I want to just, again, from the bottom of our heart, we want to thank you for the past 5 years of this fight. We have never, not once, felt alone. And I think that would be one of the hardest things to do, is going over whatever storm you're going through, to feel like you're alone. And if you ever feel like you're alone, you please call me, call Elise, and I'll be happy to share some love with you, because we are not alone, and we're never meant to be alone. So again, I just wanted to thank you for that grace that's been to us. And as a kind of a thank you, we also want to kind of share with you some of our top 10 things that we hope we never forget. That in marriage, that we can stay focused in our relationship together, that we can have that grace to be able to continue. And so the first one, I'll let Elise go and start.
Okay, so the first top 10, I can't help but think of Mama Mary, okay? Mama Mary, you see her, and you see these pictures of her, and you see these statues, and she just kind of stands so silently like this. When I look at her, and I think about her, this woman, she said yes so freely. She just said, saw this an angel flew up in her house and said, this is what, like when he told her what was going to happen, she said, yes. She's 14. And when she was pregnant, Joseph put her up on a camel, on a donkey, and then over this cold desert. You always picture a desert, it's going to be hot, but it was freezing cold. When you're pregnant, riding on a donkey, that can't feel good. And then after all that, she's at the end of her pregnancy. She goes in this stable on a bunch of hay and delivers a baby. That's just not just a sweet little woman in a dress. That's a warrior in a dress. That woman is strong. I always say Mary needed a journal. I'm like, that girl needed a journal because she's strong. I look at Mary, and I just look at her in such amazement, and such awe of her beauty, and such awe of her strength. And now I see her, and I'm like, oh gosh, she gets us. She gets it. If I need to lean on somebody that could understand what I'm going through in any situation, in my motherhood, in my sorrows, when I'm feeling weak, when I'm feeling vulnerable, when I'm hurting for my children and I can't do anything because they're at school and they're being bullied and this is happening, that's happening, who gets it? Mary. She had to willingly accept the fact that this was going to happen to her son and watch and not get up in there and be Mama Bear like I would want to be. And she watched it and she didn't go, oh hell no. She just watched and she said, okay. Oh gosh, I'm hurting. But I know that this cross is going to bring life. This cross, I had to realize in prayer, in the quiet, in that stillness that was so uncomfortable, that was preparing me for, I didn't even know what was to come. It was going to be so uncomfortable in my exams, discomfort. Oh gosh, discomfort. Every exam being so exposed like I'd never been exposed before. Every surgery, every bit of discomfort. I was exposed and vulnerable, but I said yes, because I knew that cross, if I could accept it and take it on again and again and again, and every whip and every beating and every time being nailed again and again and again to that cross, I knew it wasn't just a bloody massacre on that cross, but that cross was redemptive, and it could bring new life, not just for him, but for everyone. So if I could share this cross with others, I could finally understand what my mom meant when I had the flu and she would say, offer it up. I'm like, what? I don't get that. But all of a sudden now, there I am in that MRI, and every MRI, and every PET scan, and every CT scan, and every brain MRI, where sometimes I'll have a net over my face and I have to bite down on something and then be locked in and think, let me think about all those people that you scroll on Facebook and everybody says, oh, pray for you, I'll pray for you. And see everybody that is praying for something, they're asking, they're begging for all these terrible things that are going on. And that's when it hit me, when I was like hugging the bowl one time, sick, in the middle of the night. And I was like, oh gosh. I'm like, I'm not going to say it, but I'll puke for you. Just puke for you. But now, that's a prayer. When that happens, that's a prayer. I can offer that for you. I won't say the details, but I'll do it for you. I'll sit in this thing, tied down for you. I'm now connected to that little boy in the NICU. I'm now connected to that kid that her mom said is being bullied at school. I'm now connected to all the people that have cancer, all the people that are out of money, that are having a tough day at work. Whatever their cross is, I'm connected. Hold on to my cross with me. I got you. I had purpose in my cross. And Mary, she was interceding for me. I understood her and she understood me. Mary gets it. She so gets it. And not only that, but what was the first miracle? Water into wine, and his mama told him to do it. So when I also needed a break, I grabbed a glass of wine and I was like, cheers, Mary. That's the kind of mama we got.
Number 9, I mentioned this earlier, is listen to God and live out his plan. We have an amazing church, and this church has so much wisdom to help us understand what God's plan for marriage is. And we have to, without compromise, strive to live out according to that plan. Don't make any excuses. Don't throw any of them away. All her teachings are beautiful, and they're there for us to have life. Not to restrict, but to guide. Not to suppress, but to bring life.
Another amazing, powerful phrase that I picked up from a friend shared it with me from the book that we read together, not together, but we all read, is from Jesus Calling. Anybody else read Jesus Calling? Okay. They also have it for kids too. So Jesus Calling for Kids is another one. Get it for your kids. We use it for in our family prayers a lot. But the takeaway from in the reflection said, glance at the problem, gaze at Jesus. Wow, that was like a game changer for us. How often are we doing the flip-flop, the total opposite? We're like looking at the problem, and we're trying to micromanage God. Like, look at this problem. Don't you see it? Don't you even know what I have going on? Like, what if you do this? What if you do this? The flip-flop this and da-da-da-da. And God's going, do you know who I am? And we're not even, and we're just glancing at Jesus, gazing at the problem. Look, Jesus, problem. But gaze at Jesus. Gaze at him. Problem. Jesus. Such a game changer.